Ghost in room 1046, January 2nd, 1947. Check-in Kansas City was freezing its ass off. Wind howling like a banshee down 12th Street. The President Hotel loomed like a tired old dame. Brass spittoons and velvet ropes faded from too many rubes checking in with secrets. At 1 p.m., a slick-looking cat strolled up to the desk. Mid-40s, 6-foot frame, dark slacks, overcoat, no hat, eyes like chipped ice. "Room for one," he drawled, voice smooth as bootleg whiskey. "Name's Duncan. Paid cash up front for 3 days? $18.40. Clerk Ruby Glenser clocked him. Polite, almost fancy, tipping a buck like he owned the joint. No luggage but a small brown bag. He rode the elevator solo to the 10th floor, room 1046. Door clicked shut, blackout shades drawn tight. January 3rd, first whispers. Night fell hard. Around 9 p.m., the switchboard lit up. Room 1046 ringing down to the desk over and over. "Everything okay up there?" the operator asked. A man's voice, low and ragged. "No, I'm okay now." Click. Calls kept coming to the desk, even room service. "Send up some Dr. Pepper, will you? And ice water." Kid dropped it off. Duncan tipped fat, door barely cracking. Midnight elevator dinged. A brunette in a snazzy fur coat stepped out. Knockout curves, red lips, headed straight for 1046. Muffled voices, laughs turning to shouts. Bellhop on rounds swore he heard a scuffle, then silence. She split around 2 a.m., powder in her nose in the hall mirror like nothing happened. Dawn broke gray. Duncan called down again. "I'm all right now." Operator frowned, sounded spooked, like he'd stared down the devil. January 4th, the heat builds calls ramped up. Duncan begging for more Dr. Pepper, faking jovial. "Party of one up here, doll." But his voice cracked. Desperate. Room service tray came back untouched, plates chipped like it had been hurled. Footprints in the hall carpet, faint red smears. Made Myrtle Stump had knocked at noon. "Everything shipshape, sir?" Door cracked. "Yes, ma'am, tip-top, thanks a million." She glimpsed inside. Sheets rumpled, cigarette butts scattered like spent shells, air thick with smoke and something sour. Pete Malone, the house dick, got the itch. Ex-cop, flask always half empty, he prowled the lobby. "Something's off with 1046, calls all night like the guy's phoning from a coffin." He tailed a shadow that afternoon, a beefy mug in a fedora lurking by the service entrance. Fedora guy vanished into the freight elevator straight to 10. That night, hell broke loose. 7 p.m. Duncan called the desk, frantic. "Send the maid quick, blindfold optional." Operator blinked. "What the fuck?" No maid came. 8 p.m. Another call, voice shaken. "I'm all right now." 9 p.m. Ringing the operator direct. "Who you trying to reach?" he gasped. She patched him wrong. He hung up pissed. Long-distance lines burned hot. 4-minute calls to Los Angeles, a lawyer's office. New York City, some doc, and back to KC numbers. Phone pad scribbled frantic. "Call Dawn, urgent." Who the hell was Dawn? January 5th, the bloodbath, 8 a.m. Phone glued off the hook, buzzing endless. Eddie the clerk pounded upstairs with Pete. Door locked tight. Pete shouldered it. Crack! Wood splintering. Pitch dark inside, shades sealed. Reek hit like a sucker punch. Blood cigs puke. Flashlight swept the chaos. Bloody footprints. Size 11 smeared from bathroom to bed, then vanishing like magic. Sheets drenched crimson, mattress stabbed sloppy. Cigarette butts everywhere, some still smoldering. On the floor, the stiff. Dark hair, shredded gray suit. 2.32 slug center mass. Face pulped to mush. Eyes gouged, lips chewed off, neck gashed deep, knees busted like he'd begged on 'em. But his shoes? Black wingtips shiny as a Cadillac, parked neat by the bed. Socks spotless, no blood. What kind of psycho offs a guy and polishes his kicks? Pete gagged, hollering for backup. Bathroom. Sink running cold, bloody handprints clawing walls and door, like he fought blind. Black doctor's bag open on the floor. Syringes, morphine syrettes, gauze, scalpel. But the bone saw? Gone. Someone had hacked at the corpse after. Tried erasing in tattoos on his arms, scars on his chest. Jagged cuts, amateur job. No wallet, no papers, just a safety pin in his long johns. Women's style, odd for a mug like this. Note in his pocket, scrawled shaky. Don, don't worry, love forever, RT. Cops sealed it. Homicide Dick Rex Tomek took charge. This ain't suicide, entry wounds scream murder, and those footprints? Killer walked barefoot in the blood, then cleaned up slick. The ghost hunt morgue pegged him quick. Prints matched Roland T. Owen, 43, drifter from L.A. mom in Birmingham, ID'd a photo weeks earlier. That's my boy, last seen hitching east. But when they wired her the stiff's pics, nope, not him, wrong build, wrong scars. Dig deeper. Owen was Artemis Ogletree, alias Eugene Remick, alias Cecil King. Bummed around Birmingham hotels under fake names, scribbling morbid poems. Last known, hitching from L.A. with a married skirt named Louise. Check-in clerk swore Duncan matched Ogletree's mugshot from a 1935 vagrancy beef. Twists piled high. Fedora guy? Traced to a KC dock, clammed up. Brunette? Hotel doorman fingered her as socialite Jean Owen. No relation, vanished like smoke. Phone calls? L.A. lawyer said Owen called once, rambling about trouble with a dame named Georgia. NYC doc hung up. Pete chased ghosts to Chicago, Ogletree's sister. He phoned New Year's, sounding spooked. Said a woman was tailing him. Back in KC, a tip. Room 1024. Maid heard moans from 1046 connecting door night of the 4th. Nobody rented 1024. Weeks later, coroner ruled homicide. But Prince lied. Matched a nobody. Mom retracted. Facial resemblance, but scars wrong. Poem in his effects. Someday they will find out they have been fooled, and then it will be too late. Fade to black room 1046 reopened. Guests bailed fast. Phones ringing phantom at dawn, whispers of I'm okay now. Pete retired bitter, flask empty. Killer? Walked free, shoes shined. Owen's ghost haunts the wires, unsolved. A riddle wrapped in blood and lies. Was it the mall, the dock, or dawn? Hell if anyone knows. Case file yellowed in the KC archives. Mystery of the man with no face endures.